to No Sleep Sleepover. I'm Logan along with Matt, and you're in the sleepover. We're hanging out. We're having a good old time. Matt, how are you doing today?
I like that. I like how you're at the sleepover. It sounds very
it feels very like
futuristic,
late night DJ, like welcome to so and so, like callers
Absolutely.
Call on in.
It's the sleepover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that voice.
Okay, so yeah, thank you. Okay, so maybe you'll relate to this, maybe not. But anywho, so finally we got a reschedule of the Lady Gaga concert that was supposed to happen in 2020.
Oof.
Fun fact. And now it's booked for August of this year, which is great. However, I got the tickets through this one website where I logged in with my Facebook. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was using a defunct email for my account. So this account is listed under a defunct email. I don't know the password. The password's being sent clearly to my defunct email. So I literally had to email them and be like, hey, I don't know my password. My email that is registered is no longer my email. Please advise. And I'm like, it's so frustrating. It's just, but like, I know first world problems could be worse, but like, ugh.
No, that's rough. I mean, 'cause especially you've been waiting for this for so long, and now there's like a slight possibility that you don't go and you lose that money.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of.
Well, I feel like it'll all work out, but it's just like more of the hassle
Mm-hmm.
of like trying to figure out what password and like what account and like, yeah, it's a lot.
That makes sense. I went through something kind of similar. It was actually, I bought baseball tickets for opening day 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not a baseball fan, but I was like, you know what? It's early 2020. I want to try new things this year. And so bought the tickets. Lo and behold, a little pandemic came along. So opening day got canceled. But the tickets that or the email that I had used got hacked. But the hacker who like was on my email was a very nice hacker at first, and like they weren't going through my stuff. The only thing that they were doing was opening my Victoria's Secret emails. So I would get like deals, and then they would like open those. So I was like, it's either someone who really wants to buy underwear or someone who's really just trying to look at something. So I was like.
But, like, it's not like you were getting special deals specifically to you.
No.
It was like you could sign up for the Victoria's Secret emails.
Yes.
Just get your own email so you can get your Victoria's Secret catalog.
And that's,
like, what are you doing?
That's all that the hacker was doing at first. So I was like, okay, it'll be okay. But then eventually, because I didn't know the password for this email. So, like, I couldn't log in and change that. Eventually, I tried unsubscribing from a bunch of things. That made hacker very upset. And they changed my email. And so I I just lost that whole thing. And I lost the opening day money. And Major League Baseball is basically like, sorry, like no way that we can verify it. So yeah, lost that money. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. So
that is really upsetting on a lot of metrics. But no, I'll get it figured out. I don't know how. But I will get it.
You will see Gaga.
So, anywho, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about jobs that we've had. I feel like this is something that, really defines people. Mm-hmm. But, it's so weird you don't talk about, like, all the odd jobs that you've had through your whole life, Mm-hmm. But it's like so many people have similar ones. So I thought it'd be fun to just kind of, like, talk about it and see where we've been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, I wrote down a lot, but I'm like, part of me is like, oh, man, like, am I forgetting some stuff? I don't know.
I feel like I'm forgetting a lot, but I've written down a lot. I feel like I was the kind of person where I never really had a long-term job. I always had, like, seasonal or part-time jobs. Like, that was my big thing, honestly. And, literally the job that I have is my first full-time job. Which feels crazy,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, that's, you said it feels crazy because it feels crazy to me because I'm in the same position as you. Mm-hmm. So I'm still technically in my first full-time job. So it is weird because, like, I don't know, I feel like there is a pressure to, be further along, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that, but
Yeah, and like so many people that I know, they're like, oh yeah, I've been working since I was 18, like full-time jobs. I've done this. I've worked in so many offices, and I'm like, I'm working pretty much in the first office that I've ever worked in. And it feels so weird that so many of my jobs are like, I don't like just, like those part-time, just temporary jobs. But
yeah,
I'm still here, We're
I'm still standing.
We're exactly where we're supposed to be, and that's all that matters.
No. Yeah, no, I know. There's not to depress you, but there was a really depressing stat that I read about how like if you stay in the same job for more than like 2 years, you like lose on like 30 grand immediately or something. And I'm like, that's just so sad to me that like,
yeah,
I don't know, that our current job market is like that, but anyhow, that's different.
Rough.
Oof, depressing.
I honestly think I just celebrated 2 years like full time. So bye 30 grand. That's great.
Bye money.
Don't need you anyways, I guess. Who cares about those student
Who
loans?
needs money?
Not me. So, what was your very first job?
My very first job was so I did like a lot of volunteering in high school, and like I might have done some stuff that was like stipendy, but I think what I consider my first job was being hired as a freshman at John Carroll University at the gym and the rec center.
Wow.
And I remember a big part of it was like literally swiping cards for access, and then it was like cleaning. And like here's why I liked it. You literally like if there was something to do, you did it, but like you just kind of just chilled there.
Yeah.
And like did homework or studied or like read a book or was on your phone. Like it was very chill, and that's what I liked about that job was like, I'm not gonna like slack off, but
it is
especially in like certain times, like, oh man, like there'd be some times where like no one would be in the gym. Like I liked 10 to midnight. It was so easy at 10 to midnight. Or if it was, I'm trying to think, like Sunday nights were like weirdly not busy, and like those are my favorite shifts. Was like working when no one came.
Makes sense. I remember like anytime I'd go to the fitness center in college, I was like, the people who just like sit at like the front desk and just like, swipe you in, I was like, that sounds like such a fun job. Like you're just
so good
hanging out with people and just get to like talk and do whatever, not do whatever, but you're just hanging out. And I was like, that always seems so cool. It was
super chill. I loved it. But then I think there might have been some other stuff, but I think when I was in high school, maybe even, I got involved with some catering, specifically catering for some Jewish communities. Don't know why exactly I fell in. I think it was my family, because my parents heard of it and passed it along to me. But it led to, I think, probably, in terms of creatively, my favorite job ever.
Oh.
Which, are you ready for this? You're probably going to think it's funny. Being a barista at the college coffee shop. That was such a fun, cool job. I mean, like, it was kind of cool to have that title as, like, you're in college. Like, I'm a barista at our, our own little college shop. And, like, there was so much hijinks and like crazy shenanigans. It was so fun. It was too fun.
I always thought barista was a really cool job. Like that's something that, I mean, even now I would love to be a barista. I just think it's cool. Like people will walk in and baristas like know they're regulars, and like you just get to be creative with the coffee and everything.
Yeah, that's what I liked the best was the creative drinks, because like I'd come up with specials all the time. Some of them were great. Some of them probably were not so great, but
you got to try it.
I mean, it was fun. Like there was always like some like fun drama happening, and oh man, like I really want to. I've written like a lot of scripts for it. I really want to turn that experience into a sitcom, because I'm telling you, it's there. The material is there.
It writes itself.
Literally, it writes itself. I mean, I have like 40 episode ideas based on solely what actually happened, let alone like where I could go from there. So, anywho.
Oh, fun.
But I was also technically paid in college for my student union position, but I don't know. Again, that's more of a stipend. Anywho, back to you. What's your first few jobs? Tell me about
my first. I think it would be my first job. I was a babysitter, so like I would call that my first job.
Okay, but what kind of babysitter were you? Were you like The stern one, the nice one.
So I started babysitting, I want to say in like 7th grade. So I was like,
oh my God.
Young. Yeah, I was a child.
That's way too
care
young.
of
No
children.
offense. No offense. I'm sure 7th grade Logan is great,
Mm-hmm.
but if 7th grade Logan came to my door to babysit my children, I'd be like, girl, we need a babysitter for you.
Yeah, right? 'Cause that's like 13, I think, something like that. So
Yeah.
it was all people that I knew. And you know, the kids were like 7, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was, you know, the blind leading the blind, but
Yeah.
I babysat from like literally 7th grade until like I was in college, mid-college and stuff. So I did it for a while. Like I would come home and babysit and stuff in the summer. And I enjoyed it. It really got to like, you know, I got to hang out with like kids and stuff and like try to figure all that stuff out because I feel like that's a hard thing to do. Like once you get to a certain point in life is like to be around young kids. And so like if you don't have like nieces and nephews, which like I've never really had young family members. Yeah, I think it gave me like really good experience. I remember like as I got a little bit older, I babysat for these 2 kids and I would make them scrambled eggs because I was like, it's easy and I don't know what else to make. And they were like, you make the best eggs. They're so good. And their mom was like texting me like, how do you make these eggs? And I was like, I don't do anything special. So it's just, you know, just like those little things like babysitters are just so cool. Yeah. So I loved being the cool babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never wanted to be too stern because I'm a big people pleaser. So I was just like, I just hope the kids like me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like, what do you as like a young, especially if you're young,
Yeah.
I feel like you have to like play
Yes.
kind of both things. Because like if you're older, you automatically get respect. But like you're 15, 16, it's like.
But I mean, even like when you are 15 and 16 to those kids, you look like you're an adult. So like it's hard to like, you know, you know, you're still an adult to them. So I had good experiences, you know.
Good.
Obviously there's kids that like
Only 2 of the kids you babysitted end up being serial killers, right?
yeah, but like statistically, like most of them aren't.
Let's see, a murderer and a crime, you know, a theft, an arsonist.
But like
We're all
statistics,
good.
like when. But yeah, so it's so exciting. Just,
Okay,
like,
could you imagine though, like being in the true crime documentary when they're like the babysitter of the serial killer? Like, there's someone out there who that's like they babysat the serial killer.
Someone
right?
was Ted Bundy's babysitter, probably.
100%. Who? Where are they? What happened?
I'm gonna talk to them. But
okay, good. On the next episode of No Sleep Sleepover,
we talked to Ted Bundy's babysitter.
Ted Bundy's babysitter.
Oh goodness, but yeah, that
Okay.
was.
Anywho, back to you. Sorry, I keep cutting.
No,
you
you're totally fine. And so part of that though is that like you make your own rates, and so it's hard because it's like I started driving, and so I needed like a little bit more money, and then like I was babysitting more kids, so I needed more money, and so it was hard to like figure out those rates because it's basically like, what do you think you're worth? Which is a hard conversation to have with adults.
Me? Nothing. I'm worth nothing, hands down.
But when you have to take care of lives, you're like, oh, I'm worth like
$1 million.
yes.
Yeah, 10,000 copper pennies.
Yeah. Another
sure.
job that I had, I was a lifeguard for a couple of summers.
You as a lifeguard, interesting.
What, you don't see it?
No, I can because like I feel like you'd love to yell at people who are like running at the pool. Is that an unfair assessment?
Well, I got really scared to
like-
yell at people. Like,
You'd be like, tweet, tweet, no running.
walk.
Walk, yeah, walk, walk.
It was a fine job. I'm a very pale person, so like sitting in the sun all day was not ideal for me. So I realized I was like, I don't love this.
The thing is, that job seems pretty chill until someone dies.
Yes, and that's what was very stressful for me because like everyone, you know, was cool about it. You just sit in the chairs, you hang out, like you're doing your job. I was just stressed the whole time, just sitting in that chair, just like scanning, making sure, because these kids will play dead at the bottom of the pool, and so you have to play like, are they actually dead or are they just being a jerk? So.
Yeah, because like you don't want to like just jump in and like ruin your hair if it's a false alarm.
Yeah, and then you look like an idiot because you have to blow your whistle when you jump in, so everyone hears, everyone sees it, and then like the kid's like, I'm fine. I'm
just pretending.
So I only did that for 2 summers. Not my thing.
Okay, not my thing.
And then also in high school, I was a hostess at an Italian restaurant for a few months.
Oh, mamma mia.
Also not my thing.
Because of the Italians? Is it an Italian thing or just a restaurant thing?
It's not an Italian thing. We love the Italians here. We love Italian food.
You're like, I will never have penne pasta again.
It was a family-owned business, and so it was just hard coming into that as like a young new person with people who have been there for 40 years. You know, I'm just like, oh hey.
Well, I actually catered of here and there occasionally, mostly I think in college for I'm not going to name drop them because it's like a local business.
I know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like,
it's a, I don't know, like I feel like I have like the mustache on, like the fake mustache, but here was the problem. It was a family business and they just freaking hated each other. Like they just hated each other. So like it'd be like where's the pasta? And
yes.
Like, the pasta's over here, Dad. And it'd be like, well, I need the pasta over there.
Yeah,
and it'd be like, but the pasta's right here, so take the pasta. I want the pasta over there. And I'm like, oh, my God. And there was like one time where like they ran out of vodka, which I'm like, how do you run out of a liquor?
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's 5 liquors. Don't you have enough to like a surplus? You would have thought like someone had like killed like a family member. It was so vicious. And I had to stop working there because I was like, listen, the drama is kind of funny, but like it stresses me out every single time I'm there.
Yes. Same exact experience.
So stressful. And it'd be the littlest things. People would be blowing up. And I'm like, is it stereotypical Italian? Maybe. Is it just family business? Probably a little bit if it's, dysfunctional. But, oh man, it was...
Same experience.
The stupidest stuff though.
Yes.
It'd be like, I'm telling you, like, where's the salt and pepper? The salt and pepper's in the basket. Well, where's the basket? Well, the basket's over there. Oh, what a bunch of galoop. And I'm like, oh my God. It's salt and pepper.
Yeah. We had
Not Salt and Pepper, the artist.
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper.
Who is going on tour with New Kids on the Block, Rick Astley, who else is going?
And,
on Vogue.
And Vogue.
Yeah. But insane.
Are you going to go? Are you going?
I'm not going to go. I don't need to see New Kids on the Block before.
You sounded so excited. You were like, oh my God, they're coming. So I was like, oh,
I just think like insane lineup, but like I don't need to pay for that, I don't need to see New Kids on the Block.
Here's the thing. It depends on the ticket. If I get like a $15 ticket, I would go.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's probably not 50. It's probably like, how much? Do you want to bet? Let's take a quick bet. Quick show bet.
I'd say probably like 60.
Like for the cheapest seat in the house, you're saying 60.
I think so.
I'm saying like 40. I'm thinking 40. Okay. Let's take a look.
Because they released a video which is very like 80s vibes.
Oh.
Ooh.
29.
Oh.
And section 205, 29.
Wow, okay.
Ooh, we can even get end of the row seats if you'd like them.
Ooh, fine. Let's talk about this.
That's not too bad. I don't know. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's a Tuesday. Oh.
But you don't want to see New Kids on the Block on a Tuesday, then go to work the next day.
There's literally like, I'm trying to think of like there's like maybe 6 artists who like it could be Monday and I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah.
But like
not New Kids on the Block.
I don't think New Kids on the Block. Why Tuesday?
Good on them.
I mean, I guess they do the weekend, right? You do like a Thursday and a Saturday show, or you do a Friday show, but like Tuesday, like just take the days off and do it Thursday.
But then Friday. I think that just like extends the tour and it makes it like so much longer.
True.
And so then, you're away from your family that much longer. But
true. I mean, who am I to judge? But anywho, where were we at? So babysitting and lifeguarding.
And then the Italian restaurant, I was just going to add, we had sisters who worked there and like one was a manager and one was a server. And so it was just like a constant, just like, the server sister was like messing with the manager sister, and the manager sister was like yelling at the server, and it was just like so much. Great restaurant exhausting. Though, but yeah, not for me.
Not for me either. Was that all you had pre-college?
I had one more. I worked at PacSun, like the store in the mall, like the.
Shut up! You worked at PacSun?
Okay, for like 2 months, maybe 3 months. It was like a seasonal job.
Oh, that store was so cool back when I was younger.
Not
now that I'm
for
older, I
me.
realize it was not cool.
It was also...
Because it's like a surfer. It's like surfy Cali vibes, right?
And yeah, don't I give off Surfer Cali vibes? I was like...
No, you give off like Northern Irish witch vibes.
Yes, thank you.
Kidding.
No, that is a highest honor.
I was like, is that too mean? Have I been having too much Celsius energy drink?
No, that is the highest honor. Because that's me to a T. I've never been to California. I never want to go to California. It scares the hell out of me. And so, like, to work in this store where everyone's like, hey, dude, what's up? I'm like, hi, everybody. Like, what can I do for you? It was just too much.
Yeah.
It was not my vibe. It was only like a seasonal type of, like, Black Friday, you know. And then I stopped. So.
You just didn't show up? You just, like, didn't even, like, email them? Or?
No, they never, like, called me for my schedule, I don't think. I thought they were supposed to call me, so, like, maybe they just fired me, or maybe I just didn't. So, yeah, I ended up
It was
just,
like a mutual, like...
You should maybe just go. So, like, I might still work there, because, like, we never had, like, that exit kind of, like, you're fired, or I quit, so.
They're like, she's not been showing up for years to her shifts. Where is she?
So, who knows? But, yeah, I think that was pretty much all pre-college jobs. Mm-hmm. Unless I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of caught up through college for the most part, so tell me about your college jobs.
Okay.
Ooh.
So the summer before I went to college, I got a job at a minor league baseball concession stand.
Oh.
And I did that for like 5 summers, I think. 5 summers?
Oh, wow.
4 summers? Something like that. 4 summers, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Which was a really fun job. It met a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
It was a really hot job because it was the middle of summer, like near fryers and grease and everything. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really liked that one. It was probably like one of my favorites that I've had because it was just so low-key hangout type of deal. And then I would get free tickets. And so I could go to games on my off days, which sounds kind of like a nightmare, but like I would go to the game for free. And then if you're my bosses from that old place, don't listen to this. But then I would like eat for free and, you know, drink for free. So it was just like a free day of just hanging out. So like, it was nice to have that option.
You know, that's actually fun because like I'm not really that person who like goes to like hang out at the place I work at. Like I'm here to work and then I kind of leave. I'm not really like here. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to separate the space. Like it's either a workspace or it's like a hangout space. Like what, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, shoot, free is free.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to turn
And
down
I think that's like the
something
biggest,
free.
it was like, because I'm not a huge fan of baseball, but I was like, I'm getting these free tickets to hang out, you know? So it was just kind of nice to be able to have that option to do that. So yeah, I did that for a bunch of summers.
Wait a minute. On your biography at StarvoltStudios.com, you said that you love sports, but here you say you don't like baseball. So what's the truth, Logan Molnar, you ginger witch from Ireland?
Being roasted. I like the concept of baseball, but like baseball's not my favorite sport to watch just because it takes such a long time.
Oh yeah, it's the worst sport to watch, I think. But
So I'd prefer like watching any other sport. So like if I worked at a football stadium, oh my god, I'd be at every single game because like I love watching football. But like baseball,
they're always looking for like weird stuff like security or
I
like,
know.
shoot, you could like look into that. Like you could be like security of like section like 200 watching the game.
I always thought that was like so cool. Like people who work at like arenas and stuff. I'm like, you get to like watch concerts and like events and just like be there. Like, oh my god. Or like theater ushers, they get to just watch the shows like over and over.
Oh yeah,
and
I did that. I was a volunteer docent at Playhouse Square when I was in high school, and man, I saw a lot of plays for free.
That's
it was really
so cool.
The only policy they had back then was you couldn't sit in a row where a guest was in. So like basically the idea was like if there was maybe that last row and there was like no guests there, we could sit there. Otherwise you'd have to like stand. You couldn't like sit down.
Yeah.
Like in a non-chair. Which is kind of weird, but like it's free, so it's like
Yeah, that's rough though, because like I know a lot of ushers at Playhouse are a little bit older.
Like 90.
So like that's kind of rough. Like, hey, never sit
they
down.
are desperate for the arts. They really want to.
But like I've gone a couple times recently, and like I see the same ushers, and it's just so exciting that like I'm just like, oh, that's so fun.
You could apply. I think they actually have open applications, so.
I'm already tired enough all the time.
I like how you're like, what a great opportunity that I will totally take. Me presents you with the opportunity. I don't know. I think I'm good. I just.
I have a lot of.
Listen, when I'm 40 and I'm not like killing myself to get by in America, I will totally volunteer time to be a docent. But right now, I got no time to volunteer. I'm sorry.
I'm tired all the time.
I work 60, 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Sleep is good. Theater's fun, but sleep is better.
Yeah, theater is fun, but sleep is key.
Yes.
And yes, what's next on your list?
I had an internship, which kind of counts. It was for a nonprofit that I needed for a class. Mm-hmm. I don't really count that, I guess, but.
Yeah, I had an internship at drug court, but I was paid, I think, for that. Actually, I had a stipend.
Yeah.
So drug court was really fascinating, actually, and we did some research about opioid blockers.
Ooh.
It was, absolutely one of my favorite experiences, professionally, personally.
Wow.
It was just really interesting and such a great way to look at specialized courts. And, it really, I don't know, even the work I do for the City of Fairview Parks Diversity Coalition, it provides me a lot of context. So very blessed.
How did
to
you
have gotten that
get
experience.
hooked up with all that?
The sociology department at John Carroll.
Ooh, shout out.
Coming through.
That's awesome.
So.
Very, very cool. I was a restaurant server for, again, 3-4 months.
I feel like you'd be good at that, though, because of your personality, but, the customer sucks, so it's
Yes, and that was the whole thing. I love talking with people. I'm very bubbly, and so I was just like, hey, guys, what can I get for y'all? What can I get for y'all? But I have a very bad memory, and so I constantly forgot stuff or put things in wrong or,
Dude, I wrote down every single thing. I didn't even care. I'm gonna take my time real quick and write it out because I'm not gonna be that server who's
You just
and I'm
listen.
How do you memorize 6 orders right now?
Stresses me out.
What happens if you memorize these 6 orders and then some table calls out to you or it's can we get some ketchup?
Yeah.
How do you?
I don't get that. But I didn't have a pen and paper. I had one of those electronic things where I had to press the buttons and everything. And so there was a billion menu items on the menu, and so it was hard to go through everything.
Was this Cheesecake Factory? What?
It's similar to Cheesecake Factory, but not Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh.
I don't think you're gonna guess it, honestly.
Olive Garden.
No, it wasn't a chain like that. It's a little different.
It wasn't a chain.
No, it is a chain, but it's not. It's a little.
Okay, so what is it, girl? What is it? A chain?
Should I say what it was? It doesn't really matter, I guess.
Okay, how about this? Tell me it in rhyming form, and I will say it for you. What does it rhyme with? The place, the name.
Rhymes with DJ's.
Wait.
Clue.
I was gonna say TGI Fridays.
No,
is it
DJ's
Applebee's
Clue House.
Oh, the TJ's Grill House or the BJ's Grill House or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard that place is skanky.
Ooh, what do you mean skanky?
Just skanky, okay, maybe we. I feel like the FBI is about to bust in my door.
I know, I'm what is it?
We're talking conspiracy theories.
It was a job. So I worked there for a couple of months.
It was money.
It was. It was my first actual serving job. So I was I've never done this, but I'm really excited to learn. And then I did it and I was I hate this. People who work in the restaurant industry are just very hardcore. They know what they're doing. They're if you don't know what you're doing, get out of the way. And so it was just very stressful. It was hard to learn. And the menu is just so big for my first job. And with these electronic things and just trying to find everything through the menu, and people are ordering wine that I don't know and drinks and stuff that I, and I'm just so overwhelmed. I was not great at it. I was a very nice person, but serving is not for me. It takes a special kind of person because it's a hard job, honestly. And so, and I was always hoping maybe someone will come in and be that super nice person and tip me 50%, Never happened. I always got.
You ever went on like that $3,000 tip or whatever?
Oh
like,
yeah, and then I could just quit. But I got very low tips.
Yeah. I actually served. I think it was like the summer right after I graduated at Margaritaville.
You did? Wait,
you don't know this?
No, I didn't know that. I have a Margaritaville mug. I love Margaritaville.
Uh-oh. I don't... Okay, let's just skip it.
Oh, no. Tell me how bad it is.
I was going to go in, but I don't have to go in.
Tell me how bad it is. I don't even care.
You have the mug. You have the Margaritaville blender in your background.
Tell me how bad it is. Tell me. I want to hear.
Okay. So, like... Okay. You'll agree with me on this. You go to Margaritaville for the experience.
Yes. You don't go for the foods or anything. Like, it just...
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Food sucks. Food sucks big time. So the first summer, I made buckets of cash because it just opened. So I was part of the new staff. Just opened. It was crazy busy. But it was really rough. It was like boot camp because like the kitchen is so small. So like it would always be backed up. It would always be running behind. Some of the customers not patient, right? And then as it turned into fall and winter, business just died. And I think I stuck around. Like I didn't really work much for like the summer or the winter and like that following spring, but like I did a few shifts the following summer, but like the money just was not worth it to me. And like so I left. The employees who I met through that experience though, like hands down amazing people. Ironically though, for a little bit, my friend was working at Winking Lizard and was like, dude, like maybe you'd like Winking Lizard. Turns out, Winking Lizard is more corporate than Margaritaville. Like, Margaritaville was kind of chill. Like, Winking Lizard was so, like, weird about, like, certain things. And, like, there was, like, my shift would change every week, which I was just like, that's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me, like, I don't know. So, ended up low-key quitting because, well, it was, like, a mutual thing. It was, like, a quit. Like, I was like, listen, I can't do this. And they were like, oh, well, then you're not really a good fit here. And I was like, oh, great. Bye.
Yeah. Like, I don't need it then. Bye.
Yeah. Ironically, though, the problem that I had was they had scheduled me the day of a Kesha concert. And I was like, I'm going to Kesha. I'm not going to Winking Lizard.
I got Kesha. She's calling.
Yeah. So I think I technically worked at Winking Lizard for like 2 weeks. Nice. No joke.
I do like Winking Lizard. I'm so sorry to tell you that.
For a long time, I couldn't go. I couldn't go because I was like so traumatized. But now I can go because it is good.
I just went on Friday, actually.
Oh my God, look at you.
I love Winking Lizard. But BJ's was very corporate as well. Like there were so many like standards that you had to like stick to when it came to like everything. Like we had weekly like food trials where the like chefs would like make a dish to make sure that it like that, and then managers had to take pictures of it and like taste it and make sure that it was all, and so it was just very like by the book. BJ's brews its own beer, and so it's like you have to like be well versed in the beers, and if someone orders like a Bud Light, you recommend this one instead. And so like it was just, you know, it was so by the book that I was like, I don't even know how to be a good server, let alone like get all this stuff down.
You know, I'll talk about it later, but I got back in. I actually jumped into bartending for a bit, and I really liked it, and I'll tell you why. Coming up next.
Very nice. That's a good tease.
On the 11 o'clock news. By the way, while I was serving, I was doing actually a year of service at St. Ignatius, my alma mater, which I did enjoy, but I will admit I am a little bummed the way, like, I don't know. Like, for example, they usually have 3 or 4. It was just me. So I did it solo. It was kind of weird. And, like, I don't know. I felt like the expectations and, like what I was told I would be doing and getting, like, it just didn't line up. So, like, I'm not, like, I have no regrets because I think life is way too short to sit around being like, well, what if this and what if that? But, like, I don't know. I always look back and I think, well, you know, the information I had at the time and where I was with my career, I just started the radio station in 2016. It just made sense, you know. I needed some kind of full-time work, and that was full-time.
Yeah.
So, technically. But it was kind of a stipend volunteer position, so. But, anywho, back to you.
Well, I ended up quitting that server job because I was working at the radio station. And then I got my news internship. So I was trying to do 3 jobs at once, and it was not easy, not fun. Did not recommend. So I was just like, I'm quitting this server job because I can't do it. But yeah, so I had, the radio station job where I was on the events team, which was fun. That's honestly one of my favorite jobs. Like, I've met some of my favorite people. Shout out to all of them if they listen.
Hey.
Hopefully they do. I hope I'm getting these texts like, hey, just listen. Thanks for the shout out. But it was just I met you there. And so it was just, it was such a fun job. Just going out in the public and meeting people, doing things. And
yeah,
I loved it.
Well, it's crazy to think I went full-time at the radio station in 2018, I think. And I had one big job before. Well, actually, I got hired to DJ at the end of 2017. So I was technically a DJ for SBE, which is phenomenal. I love them so much. I'm already booked for 20 weddings this year, which is pretty crazy.
Congrats.
I'm like, we can't do more than that. I did 28, 29 last year.
That's a lot.
I know, it's very exhausting. But, so this is the last OMG. This is before I went full time at the radio station, I was like, oh, let me just get one more job. I mean, I had so many, but I wanted something a little bit more consistent. So I applied for and got hired at Barnes and Noble.
Oh.
And at the time, I'm like, I love reading. I love books. I want to be in a place that is surrounded by books and reading.
Yeah.
Right? Well.
Oh no.
Turns out it was less about books and reading, more about how do we get people to sign up for the Barnes & Noble $25 membership.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not really that good of a deal unless you're there all the time.
Yes.
So the average Joe who came in to buy a book, probably not going to want the membership. So it was, I don't know, that was the one part I didn't like about it. I liked most of the people. There was a couple managers who took the job way too seriously. Dude, Barnes & Noble's paying you what, 60 grand a year? You don't have to be, a commander of the army. But, no, that was the one thing I didn't like. I did not like the sales element, which, I liked the idea of, helping guests. That was always a good time. I liked helping guests. I liked, working with people. I didn't mind stacking books or anything. It just came down to, did not like the sales part of it, so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's been my only forte. I think it's full on retail. I think I'm not sure. But.
Yeah, I've never been a huge retail person. Only that one job, briefly. While I was in school, probably my coolest job I've ever had. I worked for ESPN3. Which was phenomenal. So much fun. Yeah. I loved it. We do all the the shooting the sporting events and stuff, all the graphics and all whatever, the replays and transitions. So much fun. Loved it so much. Honestly, my favorite job I've ever had. It was so fun. So I did that at school for a couple of years, which was so really exciting. Cool. And yeah, I really fell in love with production and everything. So that was nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things. I only am picking the things that I got paid for. I did so much non-paid work. It's crazy.
Well, this was paid.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yes, it was paid. Yeah. I mean, I did it for fun too, but I did get paid for it.
Yeah. That's the best. Is when it's for fun.
Yeah. And then I think I'm pretty much caught up to... I got my news internship, and that led me to a part-time job there and then a full-time job. Here I am.
Yeah. I mean, I've just kind of, it's what's that, the guy in the Avengers who collects the stones? That's me in jobs.
Thanos.
2019, yeah, Thanos. Because 2019, I became a trivia host. I then started bartending a little bit at All Access before it closed due to the pandemic.
So fun. I loved coming. That was so fun.
I loved that place.
You would bartend on Monday nights, and I would just come and be the only person in the bar, and I'm just I'm just hanging out.
It was so fun. It was so fun. I
loved it.
And then I got hired for the city brew tours, the tour guiding stuff. What else did I do? I got hired. Oh, the dinner theater, which is so fun. I got hired for the Cleveland Monsters and the brewery tours, the Ohio Life to do hosting for on-air kind of content for them. And then recently, my biggest thing's been teaching. So John Carroll hired me to teach there. teaching with artworks and Lake Erie Inc. Doing programs for them. So it's just been crazy wild ride. And I think like what I love about looking back at all these past jobs is how like I went from someone who was kind of just working what they could, but like trying to get into, industries, trying to get into opportunities that excited me. And now, like, more so than ever, I have so much more control and like much more like I'm where I need to be for the most part. It's not perfect, and like I'm always looking. I think like even if you're like really happy with your job, like you should have your alerts set.
Yes.
Because there could be the right advancement opportunity, or maybe something that offers flexibility, or it's like same job but like at a higher pay rate.
Yeah.
And it's like so to me, like I'm always looking, always searching, and yeah, I'm excited for like what's next. Professionally. So
yeah, you are honestly like one of the busiest people that I know. Like when you bring up like a new job that you have, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do you do it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But
and you know what? I didn't even mention the fact that Starvolt Studios, my LLC, which is I guess sponsor of is it our sponsor? Today's sponsor is Starvolt Studios.
I'm still waiting on that
Create
first paycheck.
art.
But we can talk about that later.
Listen, when this podcast makes cash, I will definitely pay you out. So we'll have to get ads. Can you imagine us doing like an ad for like Liquid IV or something?
I keep wanting to do it because like I listen to other podcasts and I hear like, oh, today's like sponsor is so and so. I'm like, how do I get that? Like I want them. Do I have to have so many like listens or something? But
I think you do. I think you have to
Makes
have
sense.
like at least something. But yeah, that'd be really fun. Like, hey, Logan, I was so dehydrated, but then I tried Liquid IV and I became refreshed.
What's that? Tell me all about it.
Yeah. Can we do we have to do the ones if we ever do ads, which who knows, but like this is just for fun. I'm not saying like, oh my God, we're so good. We're going to be like,
we are so good and we are going to be
millions.
making millions of dollars, but
okay, sorry, that's on me for assuming. But I would love to do those ads where they kind of read the script but then they have like fun with it.
Yeah.
So like maybe you'd be like, I don't know, what if it's like for I'm trying to think of like like HelloFresh,
Yes.
and you're like, Matt, like what's the worst thing about like shopping at the grocery store? And I'll just be like, having to like find the parking spot in the lot or something stupid.
Because I imagine people who do ads actually do try the products, even if they don't like it, they're still getting paid. But like, you have to have like that some sort of experience. So like, I love when people are like, oh yeah, I tried it and like I actually really like it, because I'm like, I trust you. Like that makes you trustworthy, So if we ever did ads, then I would just like start using HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And just be
Can we get a hot tub company? Can we get a mattress company?
Ooh, there are mattress companies. I've heard mattress ads before. So there are.
Big time.
We could do that.
Actually, my mattress was $300 and I love it.
Oh, really?
I love my mattress. Oh my God, it's so comfy.
Is this an ad?
Logan, I couldn't wait to go home and sleep last night. Do you want to know why?
Excuse me. I was like, that's a seamless transition into our first ad. Hello there.
No.
Look at you.
Yeah. I will say, speaking of, because we're talking about like work today, I always feel like, my resume is too much for people. Do I need to like tone down my resume? Because I have like I could show you on live, but like there's like 12 jobs and like so much going on. And I'm like, is it like too much? I think it might be too much.
I think that is like a lot. I think, if you're going to put like all of your most recent jobs, I think you should like scale back. Ooh, we're doing this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, wait, your
your
address is on here and everything.
Oh, frick. Can you imagine? I mean, not that anyone's going to see this, but anyww.
I'm just
so here's okay, let me explain what we're seeing on the we're seeing this live. I'll have to if I forget to edit this is on me, but so I have my education, and then I have that I'm technically in honor societies, and like I don't know if that's needed or not. And then I have my full-time, right? My LLC is in here because I think that's important. Like, is that I should have that in there, right? Like, it's technically an LLC, and I'm like doing stuff with it. And then I have what? 1, 2. Oh my God, this is cut off a little bit.
Yeah, this is.
I have to reformat this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more on the jobs, professional. 3 on the leadership and community experience.
Yeah.
Awards and let me go. I don't want to. I don't know. Do you think it's too much?
I think a little bit. which sucks because you do so many cool things. I think like if you took off like the Starvolt Studios, that would be like a good conversation to have. So like if they ask a question, like you could like throw that into like any conversation as an answer. So like something that like how you're a good leader, how like you're whatever, how have you been creative? You know, it's like you can throw that in and be like, well, I actually have my own LLC where I do XYZ. But
yeah, I feel like I need to find like a resume person. So
yeah,
that'll be next week's ad.
We work on our resumes
last week. Oh my gosh.
I need to work on my resume, I think, for sure. I also, because I work in like media, I need like a reel of like things that I've done, and I have not worked on that, and I need to.
So what do you think? Let me show you this. Since we're on this topic, I think it's like I feel like it's like a professional thing going on, but this is my website, and I put podcasting and video content.
Yeah.
This is like video content I did with Any Ohio Life. This is Pop It.
Oh, look at this.
And then some other. Oh, there's us. We're double down. We're double down. I feel like this is a good portfolio,
this
right?
Is really
like
cool.
you can
listen,
click on the trailer, right? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think this is a really good
I feel like it's accessible,
website.
Right?
Yes.
Like, do I need to make like a master demo that's like one file? I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
think so.
do.
I think this is good because you do have so many different, avenues and content.
And while we're here, we have to go take a look at the new
StarvoltStudios.com
staff section.
I got added on the staff section, guys.
Oh, Logan Molnar, content developer. Put that on your resume. Content developer.
Will. Look at me.
There you go. Look at that beautiful little
little
promo. Not promo. Biography. Promo. It's a Logan Molnar promo. But,
I think that's so fun. I'm on the staff page now. I'm like, ooh, I'm a staff member.
I tell people, I'm like, this is like a legitimate LLC. You are technically producing this content. You are, so to those who make like regular appearances or who are co-producing, hosting, like this is legit to me. Like, I don't know, like it's one thing to like, okay, we're going to have fun around in the basement, but like we put this out, it's on, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, TikTok. I mean, we have a social campaign. We have, website, social media handle. I mean, like this is like legit to me.
Yeah.
So, I say put it on the resume because
I love
you're
it.
doing the work. You're doing God's work.
We're pushing out content for some of Northeast Ohio. And hopefully some people in Minnesota for some reason. They like us too.
Really?
Maybe. I have no idea.
Shout out to Minnesota, eh?
I just hope so. I think that would be awesome. I have no idea what our
Do you want me to tell you some exciting news, though?
Yes.
We've officially gone over 1,000 listens, so that's cool.
Yay!
Right?
I wish we had like champagne or something to pop. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
1,000 listens over our last 13 episodes, so that's actually really good.
That's really exciting.
I wonder if a lot of people... Actually, do you want to take a guess what our most listened to episode is?
Ooh, okay, I feel like our first one, Ghost Stories, that might have done really well. But let me think.
Think about it.
So
Take a think.
I'm trying to think of like everything we've done. We've done the Ghost Stories.
Everything we've done.
We've done
Ghost Stories, Harry Potter quiz results, birth chart readings, a trip down COVID memory lane, Tepid Ones, which was when we had the wings, ranking fast food, the Christmas special, a 2021 news and entertainment review, our personal 2021 temperament test, the car trip, ranking pizza toppings, and then out today, quizzing each other on topics we hate. Which is a really funny title.
I want to say Tepid Ones. Did that one do well?
All right, so here we go. The number one, this is shocking to me a little bit. It's the car trip episode.
Yay! Oh, that's so fun!
I wonder why that one in particular has so many lessons, but it has a big difference in that. And then the second one is Ghost Stories, which was our first one.
That
makes a lot of sense.
Ghost Stories was that was a really good one. It was fun just going with the flow. I thought the car trip one was going to be up there, but I didn't. I thought it came out.
I wouldn't have thought of it. Yeah.
It's a visual one because we're together. So like the fact that people want to listen to us driving, that's exciting. I really, that was one of my favorite ones that we've done so far. We'll
definitely have to do a second one of that. Any idea on the third? Let's do the third because the third one,
it's got to be Tepid Ones.
No, it's ranking fast food places.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, that makes
Tepid
sense.
ones, actually, it's like, I'm trying to do the math real quick. Tepid ones is in the bottom a little bit. Isn't that funny?
It makes sense. We're eating on, like, with our mics on.
Someone is like, they're eating? No, I'm not listening.
I get it. That's kind of disgusting. But, like, I thought
Well,
that was
I guess
a
I
fun
shouldn't
one.
say bottom, because, like, okay, Harry Potter has more. Birth Chart has less. The COVID ones have less.
Okay,
the
makes
Christmas
sense.
special has more. Our 2021 episodes have less. Temperament has more.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
What's
is definitely
the bottom one? What's the least listened to?
Well, I mean, the last two, because it's probably just because like we just put out
That makes
pizza
sense.
toppings last week, and then quizzing each other was last week. So
Plus, we kind of just
everything's last week.
dropped pizza toppings, so people are like, "Oh, they're doing it again." Like,
Oh, I thought this was done.
so surprise.
Listen, I don't know about you. My goal is like if we get to 100 episodes,
I really want to get to 100
We're all
episodes.
good.
Yeah, I think
we're
it's
all
fun.
good. If it's like 100, 102, and then like for some reason like one of us moves to Alaska and like one of us gets married and like the other, I don't know. Like,
What? Married
like,
people
all
and people in
good things-
Alaska can't podcast.
You know, to quote Nelly Furtado, all good things come to an end. But no, my goal is definitely like I want to crush 100.
Yes,
Because then it feels like legitimate. Doesn't it feel like legitimate if we get to 100?
Yeah, and I think that we could have a big 100 episode celebration, and we'll look back at this and we'll be like,
Ooh.
remember when we talked about that? Insane, like,
Yeah. A theme party.
Woo!
A theme party.
How fun.
It could be like 100 grand, and it could be like everyone dresses up fancy and like there's like champagne
How
and like
exciting.
fancy food. I don't know what's fancy food to people, like
Caviar?
olives.
Oh.
Well, we hate olives,
I was
but
gonna say, ugh, I don't like olives at my fancy party.
yeah, not at my fancy party. How dare y'all? But
How fun. I like
okay, well, this turned into a little fun episode,
Yeah,
didn't
I was
it?
gonna say how exciting that this is like one of our jobs that we get to do and just like have fun with it, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, job implies that we're paid.
we're gonna get paid eventually.
I'm not sure. In like 2025, and like someone's like, "Hey, we're actually like really interested in getting an ad." We'll be like, "We told you so.
Yeah,
We told you 3 years ago."
They'll be like, "Hey, we'll give you like 10 cents per ad read." We'll be like, "Okay, yeah, sounds
Oh my
good."
God. Listen, no joke. If like Meyer called me up and was like $5 to drop us in a 30-second ad, you're getting it,
I'll
Meyer.
name drop.
You
I'm
know,
not
Whole
afraid.
Foods. You're gonna pay me $20 for a 2-minute ad. I will go into detail about that salad bar of
I'm not
yours
afraid.
and the vegan options. I'm here. We are here. We're gonna sell our souls a little bit,
Love
but
it.
we're here.
Wow. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I feel like we take a bunch of trips down memory lane, but I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. And it's like exciting
Yeah.
to like get to know each other. Like, because even though we're friends and we've been friends, there's still stuff that like I don't know about you.
Yeah.
That
Well, and it isn't it awkward to be like let's play a game where we ask questions, like I don't know, like I like when it comes up naturally, right? Like I like you were a server at BJ's for like
Oh, see, I'm a big
2
like
days.
question. I'm a big questions person. So like when I've been on
Well,
like
me too when it's natural though. Right?
No, see when like
Do you
I go on first dates and stuff, and I'll be like, "All right, I got my list of questions. Let's go." And people are like, "This is weird." And I'm like,
Yeah. A little too much.
But
for
I
me too,
just
girl,
I just
but-
like I just like getting to know people. So I'm like, let's just go through
Yeah,
things.
me
Like let's
too.
just figure it out. So yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Well,
Any tease for next week? Do you know what we're gonna do next week? I don't know what we're doing next week. Do you know?
I really don't know what we're doing next week until the day
Ooh.
before.
We should have like follow Starvolt Studios on Twitter, and we'll like tease the day before.
Seriously, like 3 hours before, I'll be like, oh yeah. It's like I try
Yeah.
to think of it all week, and I'm like, oh, I have ideas, and I'm like, okay, like let me try to think of, and then like
Yeah.
it's the day before, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't texted Matt, I haven't like given him an
Yeah.
idea. There's no way that he could prep for anything
Yeah.
that's too intense. So
You know what might be fun in the summer?
Hmm.
What if we did like a picnic episode?
yes, I was thinking about like an outside episode for sure.
Yeah,
Yes. I love
Yeah,
it.
that'd be fun. Anywho,
Well, more
well,
episodes to come.
Want to wrap it up? Wrap it up for us?
Do it. More episodes to come. Keep listening. We're going to hit 100. We promise. You can listen to this wherever you get your podcast. You know what to do. And watch us on YouTube at Starvolt Studios. I'm Logan. That's Matt. You know us. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Peace out. Imagine if we hit 99 episodes. Wouldn't that be sad? Like
And that
99
was-
and we're done.
That was the cap.
Like I couldn't do that. I'd be like, Logan, I don't care if you're like in
In my hospital
like,
bed.
Jamaica
Oh.
and in a coma. In a coma.
We have to do this.
Hey, it's Matt with Logan in a coma next to me with our 100th episode.
Hey. Buddy.